What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am so stoked for today's video. And that is for two main reasons. All right, so the first thing is we're getting tattooed today. Well, at least I am. And it's gonna be a pretty big piece. Well, kind of like two main pieces. And I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. And then the second thing is I feel like we need to catch up. Obviously, the last couple weeks have been crazy for me. Quite literally life-changing. If you haven't caught up on the last few vlogs, you definitely need to go do that. But I kind of want to catch up with you guys, answer any of these questions that you guys have been asking me over the last couple weeks. But right this second, we gotta get ready for this tattoo appointment. I'm gonna bring you guys with me. Let's go. All right, now in case you're wondering what I take to a tattoo appointment with me, I got you. Obviously, phone, wallet, non-negotiables, AirPods in case I don't know, want to listen to some music or have a call or something. A little protein bar, because after a while, you definitely need something. That blood sugar gets messed up. So yeah, need a snack. Bringing the X106 with me to snap some photos, of course. Got to bring an energy drink, one for me, one for him as well. Gotta always take care of your tattoo artist, always. Mini tripod for the camera I'm filming with right now, and then I'm hooking him up with an unreleased Lab Culture hat. I know you guys are asking, I'm telling you, coming soon. All right, so his shop's about 30 minutes away, so I'm gonna pack up this bag, we're gonna hit the road. Mocha does not like when I'm leaving. I'll see you in a little bit, girl, all right? I'll see you in a little bit. All right, so I know what you guys might be thinking, Johnny, why aren't you in your truck like usual? Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, I have an F-150. I absolutely love that truck, and sadly enough, it got rear-ended a few weeks ago, so it's currently in the body shop. So we right now just have a rental. I think it's like an Outlander, which I've actually never driven before, but it's low-key actually kind of a nice little small SUV. It's a lot easier to drive around in downtown Chicago, to be honest, but without a doubt, I miss my truck. I fit in it a little bit better, but we're rocking the Outlander today, so it is what it is. You gotta love sitting in some stop traffic, you know, welcome to Chicago, or I guess really any major city. But as cool and as fun as getting a tattoo is, I'm excited to kind of show you guys behind the scenes of that. That's not what this entire video is about. I actually went over to Instagram and threw up an Instagram story asking for you guys to submit questions. It's been a minute since I've done a Q&A or really answer any of your guys' questions. And I threw up an Instagram story. You guys have already come through with a ton of great questions. And if you're not following me over on IG, make sure you're doing so you can participate in these in future. But we're gonna answer some of these questions throughout this entire video, and trust me, there's some good ones. All right, so I just pulled up a couple minutes early here, so I figured we'd knock out a couple questions. I'm literally just gonna scroll and pick a couple random ones. Favorite band at the moment? So actually I included them in my last vlog, but funny enough, AFI, which is not a new band whatsoever, I've just been on a big throwback spree, so I absolutely love AFI. They got some bangers. How can someone break into videography or photography with no experience? So I would say it's honestly not much different than any other field. Like imagine if today I decide I wanted to be a DJ, but yet I have no experience doing so. If I wanted to start playing at clubs or local venues or festivals, whatever it is, number one, you got to actually master the craft first. So I have to learn how to DJ. I have to learn how to be a good DJ. You'd probably test it out with friends or people you're close with. You then would try to make some connections, start somewhere local, probably do it for free, and then build your way up. So just because this video or photo doesn't make it different than anything else, so I would figure out what your niche is, master that, and then go from there. Any tips to getting better and quicker at setting camera exposure settings? Honestly, the only advice I can give there is just comes with practice. At this point, I've used my FX3 so many hundreds, if not thousands of times. I can change the settings without even having to look at it, or, you know, lean into the different auto settings that can make your life a lot easier if that works with your workflow.
Yo.
Say what's up to the channel.
What's up, channel? How you doing?
All right, you got to show me around your room. Give me a little mini tour.
Okay, so I live stream on Kick. We have the whole swing, as we call it. 86-inch TV in the background, the little logo up top. Touchscreen over there. PC hanging on the wall. Welcome to my crib. Alexa, Shut up, Alexa. Other than that, easy peasy.
All right, and so what are we doing today?
We're doing a spider web around the kneecap because he's a glutton for pain, and then we go in with a Jason Voorhees mask.
Let's get it. Update so far. The knee is not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still not feeling great. So luckily it's not too bad. All right, first tattoo's done. We're moving on to the mask now on my kind of shin. I don't even know how you describe this. Shin, calf, kind of in between. So far, not too bad. I'd rate it, if 10 is terrible pain, I'll give it a 5 right now. All right, well, while Blink is going, we'll answer a few more questions here. Maybe there's something you can even answer too, Blink. All right, let's see. All right, sneaker collection. That video is on its way, okay? I finally have the time to do it, so that will be coming in the, hopefully, say the next month or two, all right? Is AdSense a game changer? Long form the move. Okay, so AdSense is basically the money you make from YouTube for people that don't know. Here's the thing. I think it's a really good milestone to get to, and I think it's cool once you make kind of passive money from YouTube, but at least from the money that I make on this channel, it's not like an insane amount. And it also depends. There's so many factors that go into your AdSense, how much money you make, whether it be how many ads you have, what type of content you make, whatever your CPM is. So for me, you know, I would say most of the time I'm making under like $1,000 a month with AdSense, which is still awesome. But again, it's not something I fully rely on, but it is nice. Are you planning to stay in Chicago? If not, what's next? So it's definitely a common question and an understandable one, but no, Chicago is the move, at least for the next several years. Also, I think I'll be able to experience the city a little bit differently now because I can do it on my terms and I can go wherever, whenever. So kind of a crazy thought. So no, Chicago is the move, at least for the next while. All right, here's a good question. What motivates you to keep pushing forward to create, and how do you deal with slow growth? Blink, what do you got?
You just got to fight through it. Like me personally, I've been working on my YouTube channel and it's like hasn't gotten the traction that I want it to have, but the more you stay consistent and the better you do, as in putting more effort and time into your videos, the better it's going to feel. Like at the end of the day, when you actually do get that growth that you feel like you deserve or not.
I think that's good. I think, you know, I would add on to that is I think if your only focus is growing, it's not really about the content. Obviously, we all want growth, right? And I think that's okay to even talk about, but just work on your craft and try to make the best stuff you possibly can. And in theory, right, there should be growth that comes with that. Sometimes that's fast, sometimes that's a little bit slower than you want it to be, but just try to make the best stuff you possibly can. All right, so obviously I have a lot of questions about Ghost, which understandably so. I'm literally sipping an electric limeade right now. But this question is asking, what made you commit to full-time content creation instead of remaining with Ghost? If you guys haven't yet, go check out my video talking about me leaving my job and kind of my thoughts on that. But I'll touch on it here too. Really just came to a tipping point where I've been doing content in general for like 15 years. I've been doing personal content for a little over 5, I think, which is crazy now. And it's always been a dream of mine to at some point do my own thing full time. And it just became a tipping point where not only was I making enough doing my own content, but also just starting to get a ton of different opportunities and different things with brand deals. And just, I was able to make it very successful with me putting only like 20% of my time into it. So if I'm able to put 100% of my time into it, it just seems absolutely insane. So got to a point where I wanted to take a chance on myself, and so that's where we're at. Right now I'm getting tattooed on a Monday instead of being at work. So we'll see how that goes. I think for me, when it was like, I think once I started making money from it, it made me care a little bit less about being out in public, you know? Like when I went to like the Apple store and was filming myself on launch day,
Yeah.
there's hundreds of people there. But I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm at the point now where like people will recognize me, or some of the even Apple Store employees know who I am. And so it's like cool, because it's like this is now like paying my bills and it makes money. So if these people want to laugh at me or think something weird, like, that's cool. I feel like it's almost like we're in a world now where like if you have a camera and you're doing content stuff, people actually kind of think it's cool. So I just, you know, embrace it at this point.
The little things that people might not notice, like,
Yeah.
you discreetly film some things
Yeah,
as you're going through,
for
so
sure.
it's not like you're all up in
Complete
people's
in your
faces
face.
and people
Yeah.
being ridiculous. Yeah.
But even like my last video was like me in the airport, you know? And I mean, it was like, dude, the busiest airport I've been in a minute. And I was just like, in my head, I told myself I was filming there. So I was like, I have to make this work. But there was so many people looking at me. It even made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm like, again, I mean, I'm literally filming the video about me leaving my job to do this full time. If I can't sit here and talk to a camera now, like, then I shouldn't be doing this thing, you know? So
Go back.
yeah, like, so I just got to make it happen. But filming yourself in public is still a weird thing, but I feel like to at least a good percent of people these days, they actually think if you make content for yourself and you're able to make a living off of doing that, they probably think that's actually cool. Taking a quick little breather here, feeling pretty good, but we're in the home stretch now, almost there. Okay, so what is this?
It's called Recovery Aftercare. It's like a second skin. Some of the best stuff that I've used personally. Follow this with Redemption and boom, perfection. It's like it's not even there.
I have a gift for you. You get one of the first.
Oh!
One of the first.
Dude, I love
Before
this.
I sell 'em.
I love that, dude.
Dude,
Right
the
there,
real one,
still.
real one. Oh,
this
wait.
is how old now?
Dude, that's fucking awesome you have that, actually. That's crazy, dude.
Just that alone.
That's crazy. He's had that on his phone for almost a year.
Yeah,
A year.
I would say almost a year. You handed them out when we were over at Ease.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No
December,
case, no
December.
anything. Solid.
Hats. Soon.
Take it. I love this thing. I'm gonna fit over my fucking hair right now.
That's all right.
Yeah, well,
The beast. All right, thanks, brother.
absolutely, bud. I appreciate you.
All right, so tattoo complete, or a couple tattoos complete. So always good seeing Blink. He definitely took care of me. I'll make sure to have his pages linked down in the description below. Great dude, amazing artist. So yeah, I'm in a little bit of a pain, but overall, not too bad if I'm being honest with you. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. All right, so before we hit the road back, let's answer a couple more questions here. I have so many questions. I don't know how I'm gonna get through all these. This one's a timely question. When are you dropping those Lab Culture hats? So here's the thing. I've never sold anything myself before, so this is a process I'm figuring out for the first time. And I wanna make sure it's a good experience overall for everyone. But here's what I'll say. I approved the samples. I have the actual ones now in my possession. The first drop I do is gonna be pretty limited, so not a ton of hats right off the rip, just to make sure I got it under control, make sure it's a good experience for you guys. So hopefully over the coming weeks here, I'm gonna get it sorted so we can get them up for sale for you guys ASAP. So stay tuned. Next place I'm traveling, when are you coming back to LA? Meet and greet. Wow, the idea of doing a meet and greet actually sounds amazing. Maybe something we can set up with a few other creators. I'm actually gonna be out in California kind of the end of August. I'm gonna hang around another night or two with the 505 guys, record another podcast with them. So I'll be around towards the end of August. So yeah, catch me out there then. All right, it's actually pretty hot. So let me turn on the car here at least. Shout out to Chef Bob for this question. What is this moment in life teaching you? That's a really good question. This is obviously just a crazy time of my life. A lot of emotions, but I think the first thing that comes to mind, at least, is just how important it is to have the right people around you, whether that be a support system, people you can talk to, people you can be motivated by, especially me being a full-time creator now, having a group of people and other creators that I can share ideas with, get feedback on, or even just as far as having a partner or significant other goes. Being a full-time creator, even though, I have a team around me, management, friends, obviously I'm not completely on my own, but at the same time I am kind of on my own. So I would say, yeah, having the right people around you and a great support system, the right circle of people, is so damn important. How do you switch off mentally and physically from content creation? I always seem to be in work mode. So this is something that I think all of us struggle with that make content, whether it be part-time, full-time, in general. I think it's a blessing and a curse. It is really hard to completely shut your mind off of it. It's something I struggle with all the time. But I would say if you can schedule any of your time, it helps out a lot. Even if it's just, okay, Saturday, I'm not working on content at all. So that way I know leading up to it, I need to work extra hard that I can actually enjoy that time away. So yeah, I would say schedule out some of your time a little bit. Know those blocks of time you're gonna be working. Know the blocks of time where you're gonna be spending it maybe with other people or friends, or just by yourself, not doing work. That's also important. Try that out, and I think it helps a ton. Great question from a good friend of mine, Sooner. Now that you're full-time, what's the next big milestone you have your eyes on? So I've talked about this very openly in some of my videos, but I want that 100K plaque on YouTube so damn bad. It's something I've been working towards for years, and I feel like the momentum with the channel is at an all-time high and hopefully even getting better now. So we're actually starting to get pretty close. So 100K, I want it, I need it, and thanks to you guys, we're gonna make it happen. So 100K, coming soon. All right, so it's time to get out of here. I'm gonna hit the road, head back to the office. I'll catch you guys there. So, it feels like it's actually been a really long day, but at this point, it's been a couple hours since I checked in with you guys. We had dinner and all that, and it's time for me to sit down and get some work done. Right now, I'm working on a couple vertical videos. I have a vertical from Sony Camera Camp, which was just so sick. But I don't know about you guys, but I have absolutely been locked in on the Olympics. I'm watching sports that I didn't even know were sports, but I've obviously been locked in on USA basketball. Earlier today, I was watching street skateboarding, which is so sick that's in the Olympics now. But I've constantly either had it up on my computer screen or a TV. It's playing somewhere pretty much all times. But just something about the Olympics is just so much fun. All right, so trying to get the lighting pretty good here. How's the closet look? I think it's actually clean enough. I always try to have it look pretty good in here when I'm recording. And you never know the different pockets of this office. Sometimes you gotta throw tripods and stuff, or things I gotta unbox still, like all over the ground over here. But I figured before I actually sit down and really start cranking on some content, let's go through another handful of questions, and there is a lot. Big Rob Energy asks, favorite gun to use in Warzone? Okay, so lately I've been playing a little bit of Warzone when I have some time, and I guess now my schedule's a little bit different now that I think about it. But I'll give you my combo. Car 98 and the Riveter. If you know, trust me, you know. What systems do you use to create content? I don't know if you necessarily mean software or just, I guess, my process, but Apple Notes is where all my ideas get written down. Scripts, outlines, whatever are written down. Apple Reminders keeps me on track. Obviously, I use a calendar. I just use iCal. And then the software I use to at least edit my content is on Premiere Pro, and I edit in Lightroom. So that's kind of the main pieces of things that I use, I guess. A lot of questions about lab culture, which I answered that earlier, but stay tuned. Make sure you're following that Instagram because I'm sure those people will have first dibs. Will you ever live stream on Twitch? So actually, funny enough, I started doing personal content by streaming, which looking back now is just funny that I started out streaming. But yeah, I actually streamed on Twitch before, but now that I'm full-time and I have a little bit more time on my hands, or at least to be able to do it how I want, I do want to layer in live streams at some point. Still on the fence about what platform I'd go on, but probably between YouTube and Twitch right now. I know you can multi-stream. I don't know if I really want to do that, but if you guys would have an interest in watching me live stream, definitely let me know down in the comments below because I'm strongly considering it. You know, I already got the setup ready to go. Favorite piece of tech besides smartphones and why? Right now it would be, they're right here, so I figured I'd grab them. is these Beats Fit Pro. I know I talked about these in another video recently, but I have a ton of pair of Beats. I have a ton of pairs of AirPods. Obviously, I just have a ton of stuff. But as far as working out goes, running goes, these stay in my ear better than any pair of earbuds I've ever had. And you can find some pretty good deals on them. I'll have these linked below, but yeah, I absolutely love these right now. I've been using them every single day to work out. What do you use to get your audio to be so crisp? I use a few different types of microphones depending on what type of stuff I'm recording. Right now I'm just on one of the Sony ECM mics, but if you want to see all my gear that I use, go check out one of my last few videos. It was like a what's in my camera bag type of video, and I list all my audio that I use over there. This is a good one, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to it. How do you schedule time to be able to post consistently? I struggle doing that with my 9 to 5. So this is something that I've talked about before, and I need to just go ahead and make a video on it. But I had an extremely demanding job. I absolutely loved it, don't get me wrong, but it just took up a lot of hours, including evenings and weekends sometimes with travel. That's just part of that type of a job. So the only way I could actually post consistently, because sometimes I'd be gone, 3 days at a time, or even up to like 5 and 6 days sometimes as well, I had to get ahead of it. So I would batch record content, shoot a few pieces of content in one sitting. That way I could edit that content throughout the week whenever time allowed for it. But there's really no magic way to do it. That helps, but still it's just gonna take a lot of sacrifice on your time. And I sacrificed a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends, a lot of turning down other plans because I had a goal in mind, but it obviously paid off in the long run. So just try to get ahead of it and plan as much as you can. All right, my dude Alex asked, sneaker of the year. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've slowed down on my sneaker purchases lately. You guys maybe disagree. I love the Travis Scott Jumpman Jack. Obviously, I have a ton of Travis Scott shoes. I love him as an artist, a creative, etc. So I'm kind of partial, but I actually love this silhouette. I need to clean these, to be honest. But yeah, I love this silhouette. I love earth tones, creams, brown, gum sole bottoms. Yeah, that's probably my sneaker of the year so far. But there's still a lot of months left. We'll see. Do you think I need to post every day to grow on Instagram? Great question. And honestly, I think it's going to be different for every person out there. Personally, for myself, I think every other day is the sweet spot. But some people post 3 times a day and it works for them. Some people post once a week and that also works for them. I would find what number you're able to consistently put out on a weekly basis. Think of it like going to the gym. If you're deciding to get back into the gym and you say, I'm gonna go every single day, 7 days a week for 2 hours, chances are you're not gonna make it very far, or at least for sure getting burnt out after a couple weeks. So think of it the same way with content. Start with posting once a week, and then once that feels easy, do 2 a week, 3 weeks, so on and so forth, until you kind of find that sweet spot. That's what I would recommend at least. All right, I'm picking one last question for now. How's the Fuji X100 treating you? Okay, so funny enough, I actually brought it along with me today, but in short, I absolutely love that camera. I've been using it strictly for shooting photos. I shoot JPEGs using recipes inside of it. I kind of figured out my own recipe, so if you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comments below and I'll link it somewhere or make a video about it or something. I've been utilizing a lot to just take better photos than just what my iPhone could take. A great example is when I was in London last week, I wanted to share a lot of my experience over on Instagram stories, and it was just such an easy way to take quick photos that look really good with that f2 lens, with that beautiful recipe, a little short stash pro mist on it. I just shot it straight from my camera over to my phone, those JPEGs, uploaded it to Instagram stories in seconds. And I'm telling you, that experience itself made that camera completely worth it. So I love using it to document my day-to-day life, and it's a quick, easy, and fun way to kind of get a more elevated look. So love that camera. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys my leg because it's bleeding right now. And obviously I got a Jason mask. I think you guys could tell that by now, hopefully. And then also a spider web on my kneecap. The Jason mask is just black and white. And obviously I'm bleeding right now because I just got tattooed and it looks like it's real blood, or real blood that was tattooed. So there it is, spider web coming along there. Got the Jason mask. Looking absolutely sick. I'm bleeding, or I think it's technically called plasma, but bleeding down, stripping out a little bit out of this like second skin stuff, which makes it so much easier to heal. But I am so stoked on how these turned out. So maybe I'll just go ahead and throw a few of the Fuji pics up on the screen of my tattoo today. I'm telling you, it's just so easy to take good looking photos with that camera. I mostly just use it on auto with my recipe in it, and it's just a glorified point and shoot, and photos come out looking so fire. Guys, I'm gonna wrap up the video right here, and one thing I wanna leave you guys with, or one thing I wanna say before this ends, is just thank you. The amount of support I've gotten on my last 2 YouTube videos is just mind-blowing. when I announced that I was leaving Ghost, when then I announced that I'm going full time. It's been a crazy couple weeks, and that was such an amazing chapter of my life. But this next chapter is gonna be even so much more fun, and be able to really document this journey and share it with you guys and feel all that support. It's really cool. In my last video, which was the Sony camera camp video, it was a little bit of a longer video. I think it was my longest YouTube video I've ever put out. I think it was like 34 minutes. I'm so happy with how that video turned out, and the feedback has been amazing. Sounds like you guys want more and more of those types of day in the lives or vlogs, whatever you want to call it. And I want to lean into more of that type of stuff with my content. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I just want to say I appreciate you guys a ton. So guys, that is going to be it for me in today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Again, go follow me over on IG if you want to participate in one of these Q&As in the future. Also, I'm going to try to at least once a week kind of run a Q&A on Instagram stories at least, just to stay super connected with you guys. But as for me, I gotta get back to work now, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully pretty soon. Peace.